welcome back. The program you're watching here is Wake Up Sierra Leone on Channel 33 and on FM 101.7. In our final segment in the studio, we have been joined by Alfred Peter Conteh, interim chairman of the All People's Congress Party, APC. Alfred is here to update us on the latest happenings in the party, reforms and plans ahead of the party's convention, among other things. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
You're welcome. Let me ask you this question. At some point, we saw a disagreement coming to public with writing a press release and also the secretary to the committee writing another. Is everything safe with your leadership?
Well, it was an unfortunate moment. I mean, we have a committee of 21. We have a court mandate. And in that committee of 21, there's only one designated position, and that's the chairman of the committee. So we decided as a committee, we need somebody to do recording because that's what prompted the whole thing to form a secretariat. The secretariat we formed is so we can have minutes and do all the secretarial job for the committee. I think it was misconstrued that he is a co-equal or co-pilot or maybe a national secretary general in the interim of the party, you know. We are the interim transition governing committee, which is the ITGC, which I am the chairman of it. And according to the court order, all we have is chairman. There's no other actual positions. But we say for the smooth running, we should create other positions, like we call them standing committees. And in those standing committees, we expect things to go smoothly. But as it turns out, you know, it became apparent that things were not going smoothly. So one of them being the counter press release, you know, to basically say they too have power. So I just want to clear that. Okay. Your question, if things are going smoothly, we're working on it. It's tough because we have two sets of people in the APC. We have people that love the party. We have people that are loyal to the party. We have people that are loyal to people. And those are the people that are giving us tough time.
What set are you? What set do you belong to?
I am loyal to the party. I'm fighting to make the All People's Congress Party the All People's Congress Party. They're fighting to make it the Some People's Congress Party. So that's the fight.
So there's some amount of division.
Well, I have to be sincere. Definitely, yes.
So within the 21-man committee, there is division.
It's apparent.
And so all this while, you have a court mandate, like you mentioned. You have timelines to meet. With this division, what has been the progress? What have you been able to achieve so far?
Well, it took a while to figure out that something is not right, but I've figured out that something is not right. And I intend to deliver according to the court ruling and make sure we do everything that we're told to do within the time frame for the sake of the APC party.
You doing it alone or you doing it collectively with members of the committee?
We're doing it collectively.
But you said that you've agreed that there is division. There is division.
There is division. It's difficult to get 100% compliance. But I want to let you know that with what's going on, we can talk, we can negotiate, and we can have what you call a middle ground to move things forward. But the delay that you spoke about became apparent to the point where we decided to move according to what you call the quorum. In all APC gatherings, even in the 1995 Constitution that's now outdated, and the current Constitution, we have what you call a one-third majority. A one-third of the membership forms the quorum. So in a committee of 21, if we have 7 people, including the chairman of the committee, it's a quorum. We can move on and make decision on behalf of the party. So to speed things up, we intend to do that. If they need a rise to call a meeting, we'll call the meeting. And if it's 7 people, it's a quorum. But I want people to know the mechanism of the committee is 21 people. 8 people are members, 8 of them are members of parliament. And so during parliamentary debates and parliamentary sittings, we've been rescheduling meetings. So, in fact, if you notice during the recent bill that they were debating, I was in parliament. Since the day the parliamentarians were attacked, they called me. One of them called me, not people from the committee, a different parliamentarian called and said, Chairman, this is what's going on. So I came over and I was with them in solidarity until the debates were over. So when the debates ended, they were going to go into what they call committee stage. So when I was told they're going into committee stage, I said, all right, it's time for us to resume work. The party's work is not going to be left behind, you know? So we started the process to have a meeting. It was on Monday. The debate concluded on Monday, and on Tuesday we set up the first meeting. And they said, no, we have a sitting today, you know? Please, let's reschedule. But I said, you know what, we need to move. The party needs to move. If 8 people are absent, we're left with 13 people out of 21. We can sit and have a good debate.
But their presence in the committee as well was part of the recommendations from the court, right?
Yes.
That they should be appointed.
Yes.
As well as your own people who are members of the committee.
Yes.
So this division, is it between the people that you appoint to be part of this committee as against those who are coming from parliament? Is that where the divide is?
Well, if you go back immediately after the pronouncement was made or the judgment, some legal people or lawyers, along with former members of the executive, the now defunct executive, came out and said it's a 12-9. It's 9 of them and 12 of us. So they started the division. So since I came, we've been trying to unite these 2 groups so we can work for the party, you know? And it's difficult because I'll say majority of them, or maybe all of them, are members of the former executive, all of them. Because by virtue of your position as an elected member of parliament, you're automatically part of the APC executive in that particular district or region. And then the next sets of people that came were all members of the previous executive. So basically I'm sitting with the previous executive and trying to effect change. So it's not easy.
Now let's talk about your leadership. What are some of the priorities as we head towards the 2023 elections? As we know, you're yet to conduct a lower level election up to the national executive level as well.
Well, my priority is to win 2023 elections, to make sure we have the appropriate elected officials that will take us to that election. People need to know this is an interim body. So our job is to be in charge until we conduct elections and elect people that are capable to win the next election. But during this period, whatever comes in, things like registration, I believe it will happen under the interim. So we've put mechanisms in place to tackle the voters registration that's coming up, I think October 3rd to September, or September 3rd to October, something like that. So we're looking to make sure we have full participation and get people to vote, to register. So whosoever became the leader of the party after that will not have too much.
How can that be achieved with all this division, you know, taking place?
Well, it's the APC. The APC has dynamics that is complex.
What are some of the dynamics?
This is what people don't understand. We just had 6 by-elections in 5 districts, okay? In those 6 by-elections in those 5 districts, this same committee, the ITGC of the APC, went out, put strategies in place, we didn't even have money compared to the ruling party. I mean, if you take constituency 056, they outspent us. I mean, we're talking of, based on what people told me, it's not, you know, something that I can tell you for sure, but they said they spent close to 5 billion in one election. And we spent not even 150 million in that election, and we won. So the APC has the ability to do things beyond all this. Once we get to the room and we know it's time to push, we put our shoulders together, we will push. We won Falaba district with the largest margin ever, 82%, I'm rounding it up to 18%, you know? So you look at it, we won 4 out of 6 by-elections. It's to show you that the APC has dynamics. That's the dynamic.
Are you looking forward to conducting some of these elections and transitioning to whoever will lead the party, or you're enjoying this job? You want to continue and take the party to the elections?
Well, that's you make me laugh. The reality is, enjoying the job. I don't know if I can say that.
As well.
I don't know if I can say that. But we're looking to actually conduct the election. It's not an option, it's a must, because it's the court order. We have to conduct the lower level elections. Once the rules that we promulgated in May or June 3rd, once those rules are accepted by the general public and all that, it's been gazetted already.
Exactly.
Yes. So once that's clear, we clear all the so-called petitions or objections to the rules, and then we make clarifications or corrections. After that, it's time to set the dates for those lower level elections.
Let's look at the audits. You're one person who clamped down heavily on the previous leadership in terms of accountability and financial prudence as well. With the directives of the courts, how is the audit coming along? Where are you to hire an audit firm to do forensic audits of the entire handling since 2017?
We've hired the audit firm, and we did it in a timely manner. We were given a deadline. So we were able to get a firm, and they're doing their job. They're in it, they're working. I believe they were given 60 days to complete the audit and then hand it over to me, and then I'll take it and hand it over to the PPRC.
What did you inherit as chairman?
I inherited, as chairman of the ITGC, I inherited, I want you to know, a party that was struggling. I mean, structurally speaking, financially speaking. These are facts. And I can't go to the details for the sake of my patriotism, you know. But the reality...
But this is a party that wants to lead the nation. The people need to know. You have supporters, you have members who don't know these things. You need to let them know.
I understand. The party...
No,
the party wants to lead, and the party will.
So why
the
do you
party,
want to add,
let me say this, the APC will lead the nation come June 25th, 2023. Because on the 24th, they're going to announce. And on the 25th, Sierra Leoneans will wake up to a new administration led by the All People's Congress Party. That's a guarantee. Now, those little things that happened, I don't think we can blame the party for the mishaps of certain individuals. So based on that, that's why I say I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty.
But the party had leadership. There was a chairman, there was deputy, secretary general, and other executive members. So who should take responsibility of what you're saying that you inherited?
So we got to know. We need to know this. The party indeed had a structure, but that structure is what I challenged. It was not proper, and because it was not proper, you don't have to account or hold yourself accountable because you have to report to somebody. So people were not doing their job, let's put it this way. Not everybody. Some people did their job, some people did not.
What has been your achievement so far since you took up this position as interim chairman?
Well, one of the achievements is we proved to the world that the All People's Congress Party democratically can take the majority in the House of Parliament. So we were able to democratically win constituency 056, and we are the majority party in the House of Parliament. You remember they took 10 of our MPs out. They basically kicked them out and replaced them with the opposition, SLPP. So we were in the minority, or we were no longer the majority, but our resilience, our efforts, we were able to come back. And during this interim tenure, we are now the majority in the House of Parliament. And also, we won Falaba district. Like I said, they used to call it Little Kailamu. We won Falaba district with 82%. I'm rounding the number up. And to 82 to 18%. So these are achievements that you can point to, that people are now happy, people feel free, that APC is no longer some people's party, it's now the All People's Congress Party.
Should the other members of the committee, whom you said were part of the whole executive that you have in this division with, should they also take pride of that achievement?
So I didn't say I won, I said the committee. It's all of us.
I'm asking for clarity. Should they also take pride in that achievement?
Oh, they should, they should. In fact, Falaba district was run because we put people in charge. Honorable Lahaimara was in charge of Falaba district. He came back, I wanted to what do you call it, lift him up in joy, you know? And you take Tonkolili was Honorable Aaron Koroma. So they're part of the old executive.
So what is the problem? If you can achieve that, what is the most critical issue you have in with them as members of the committee? I
don't know for sure, but this is what I'm suspecting. I'm suspecting because everything I've proposed is for the good of the party. Take, for instance, since we took over as an interim, our presence is just at the party's office. So I said, let's expand. We need to be felt or seen in every district in Sierra Leone. So I suggested that members of the 21-man committee each take a district and be the interim district chairman, like the transition, just like we are, until we go to election and elect a district chairman. So you are going to be there. If there's any grievance, any misunderstanding in any dispute, you'll be the one to make the necessary correction or mediation. So at the end of the day, they accepted, and then they went and came back and they rejected. They said, we're not going to do it. There's no need to do it. So I explained again to them, and they accepted. Some even suggest, well, I would like to be in this district. I would like to be in this district. I said, okay. We came, we sat down in the meeting. It was also rejected. So I'm suspecting after we have our meetings, they will go and have their own meetings. And they will tell them, reject. Even though they have agreed, they will come and reject. So we're talking of 4 attempts they rejected. Another thing that I proposed that was rejected, I said we need an advisory council or committee wherein we'll bring people, if we have what you call a situation that we cannot resolve, they can come in and mediate and say, you know what, this is the correct way to do it. Don't do it this way. You drop it, you pick it up, and let's move on, you know? So I was looking forward that this is a good idea because it came when we had the I'll call it a little glitch, you know, when my press release went out and then the Honorable Abdul Kabo also issued a press release, like to counter me or challenge me. So at the end of the day, a group came in and this basically brought us back together and say, you guys should work as a team and all that. So right there, they said, you guys need advisors. And we all agreed. We came in to get the advisors. They said, no, We came in again to get the advisors. They said no. I said, all right, let's have a meeting. Let's talk about the composition of who are the people that are going to be in this advisory committee. And at the end of the day, it was rejected. So it's like anything that is good, that will help the party, is being rejected, even though they will agree in the office, in the meeting. But when they go out and come back, no.
With that, how are you assured that you'll meet your timeline, you know, as directed by the court with such disagreement?
Well, those items that I outlined, we were able to pass them.
Let me read quickly. There is a letter, I suppose you saw it. It was on social media from lawyer Alpha Jallo. I think he's the legal representative or so in the committee. One accusation, one thing he said is that you're usurping the powers of the Secretary General, Honorable Abdul Kagbo, in the committee. And he went further to say, you've not been performing well as chairman of the committee. And this is a letter that went public showing the disagreement within the committee.
Well, if you... So that letter came out. I didn't even know. I received a phone call. Said, have you seen this letter? I said, no. So somebody sent it to me. I read it, and the person called me and said, excuse me, what do you know? Did you have any argument with him? Did he talk to you before he did this? I said, no, it's a shock. You know what I mean? We're in the same committee, you know, and he has my number. He could have called me and said, these are the things that I've observed. Is there a way we can fix it? Or is there a way we can give these particular items preeminence in the meetings? So none of those happened. So when I read the letter, I looked at the whole thing. I said, something is wrong. So the guy called me back and said, you read it? I said, yeah. He said, something is wrong, right? I said, yeah. He said, this is what I think. He said, look at the top of the letter. I looked at it. It says B and J, right? He said, do you know what the B is? I said, no. He said, that's the Honorable Cherno Majuba. Cherikuko.
The leader, your party's leader in parliament.
Yeah, the leader in parliament. I said, okay. He said, and the J is this guy. So they're both partners. He said, it could be because somebody said you wanted to run for flag bearership. So these guys sat down and they just try to smear you, you know, your image or something. I said, so why would they do that, you know? Because other people want to run too, you know? So I think...
So what's your own suspicion? What do you make of this letter? Is it that they're trying, like that person mentioned, you're trying to be smeared?
I think so, because most of the things in that letter, the thing like minutes, he mentioned minutes and all, he was agreed on. He is the one that made the proposal that to save time, we should skip certain things. If we go through the process, we'll be there all day. He comes to the meeting. I think he has the highest absenteeism in that meeting, if we go by the register. And he will come in maybe a few minutes and leave. So, and he'll sit there like he don't want to be there. So sometimes he comes in and he's happy, all happy and ready to be. Sometimes he'll show up, which is the majority of the time, and disconnected. So I don't know why. I really don't.
This is clearly showing some level of division within this committee that was so expected by your members, that it will resolve all of your issues as you move up to the election. But I want to ask, what's your relationship with other leaders within the party, say that of the leader of parliament, Honorable Chernoba, the former president who served as chairman of the party, and other executive members? What's your relationship with them?
Well, I will say to you, it's a change. Not everybody accept it, you know. And I did not rub it in anybody's face to say, I'm the winner now, you're the loser, you know. There's a saying that winners keepers and losers weepers, you know. But I never did that. Even after the verdict, I was interviewed right there in the courtroom. I said, no, I did not win. The APC party won. It's APC. It's the All People's Congress Party that won. in the APC song, it says there is victory for us, not me, you know? So I came with that type of oneness. Let's put things together as a party. Let's work together as a party. And I've reached out to most of the former executive to try to, you know, get them to feel at home, even though they are no longer in charge.
Did they feel threatened with your presence or you being in charge?
I can't deny that. I can't deny that.
And you have an ambition too.
Well, it's politics, so people have the freedom to be suspicious, especially with this letter. Somebody out of the blues just decided to say, let me smear him. And it was just based on rumors. It was not anything concrete. If I want to declare for any position, it will be all over, you know? But again, I don't know, it's politics.
So Alfred, let me ask this question. Now that we see some members of the party are coming up, showing interest for various positions, does that actually distract you, especially when some of them are those whose leadership you condemned?
Well, one of the good things in democracy, the choice is with the people. One of the things we fought for is to level the playing field. It was not leveled. There were barricades, and certain people were not allowed to even go to the party's office. Some people applied for party membership cards. They were refused. They were denied. So all of these were unnecessary impediments. So let me say this to you. I'm not threatened by their presence or them coming up for positions. I believe the people would decide. My job is to make sure the people that are deciding are the correct people. Because what we have right now, we just received the party's register of registered voters. And I found out it's not really reflective of reality. But we have to look into it more deeply to make sure that register is reflective of the amount of people in that particular locality. That's number one. Number two, we want to make sure everybody in the register is really APC. Those are the little things we are looking at, because there's a sequence, there's a numbering sequence. And we looked at where we were in June. I have those numbers, the sequence in June of last year. And then you look at where we are now, and you see the big spike, you know?
Many people have accused you of being a sellout to the SLPP. Is that anything to go with, or is it that what is responsible for all the rancor surrounding the party?
So in the APC, if you disagree with them, they automatically refer to you as SLPP. It's obvious. So I don't disagree with them. I just say, let's fix the party together. Let's open it up. Like I'm telling you about the party register, I've received dozens of protest letters from members, prominent people, who said, I paid this much to receive this much party cards, and I've been refused, I've been denied. And this is my receipt. I have those petitions.
Is the APC financially strong, you know, to do all what you want to do as interim committee? Are you financially strong as a political party?
As a political party, yes. I'll say we're financially strong.
You met enough money?
No. Definitely no. But what I'm telling you, once the APC come together,
you're in the red?
We galvanize.
The party is in the red?
Once we galvanize our resources, we're able to do all the things that we want to do. So when I say the APC party has the money, I believe people will look at it.
You believe in people, but not what's in the bank, not what's in the account of the party.
One of the ways political party raise money is through donations.
I'm asking about what you inherited, whether you have enough to run the activities you are supposed to do as interim committee.
Well, we're working on making sure, because
you're working on, you don't have enough.
When you say we, I mean, the division is there, it's open. What do you mean by we're working on?
All right, so let's talk about the division. The division is only when we want to do something that will make it the All People's Congress Party. That's where the division is. Because they think it should be some People's Congress Party. That's the division. That's the division. The big division is they don't want certain people to even come back into the party. They don't want so those people have that particular mentality or mindset. So that's where the conflict is.
And those people are powerful as well, right, within your party? Those who don't want the others to come?
Definitely, yeah.
And that will affect what you want as interim chairman, or what you believe you fought for within the party, right?
It has the tendency to affect it, but I'm determined to make sure this becomes the All People's Congress Party, and not the Some People's Congress Party.
Okay.
How soon will that happen? Because, you know, we're just a few months more towards the election. How soon will that division be settled?
Well, I believe we passed some of the things I was saying. We held a meeting, and in that meeting we passed resolutions, and those resolutions became something that will help us settle the divide, you know? Mm-hmm. Because now you're going to be forced to talk to this guy.
I'll go back again to the question Lamarna asked you. If we were to go to the bank now and ask, what's in the bank for APC?
You made some money in the bank. There's money in the bank for APC.
I mean, in just a figure, what's in the bank for APC?
I'm not privy to that figure. I don't want to give you something that is fictitious. But the reality is,
you get an
you're trying to say there's no money at all for APC?
You received an handing over note.
I did receive an handing over note. But like I said, the handing over note is with me. And
what are the accounts showing?
The account shows money in the bank.
Enough? Red?
Well, the word enough in politics is difficult to ascertain whether it's enough or not.
So what's the correct word in politics?
It's never enough.
Okay.
So avoid the word enough.
Before we take messages quickly, I want to ask you this. Will you want to confirm the new amount for people who want to contest for flag bearer? I read somewhere it was around 500 million that is in the new documents being gazetted.
That's correct. We came out while we were doing the rules. What do we put for each position? So we have maybe 28 different positions, and the flag bearer, the highest vote in the committee was for half a billion leons. So it's 500 million. That's the fee. But again, those rules have been gazetted, and I believe people have petitioned that. So we'll get a middle ground. So the amount is not confirmed. It's a suggestion.
Okay. What are some of the criteria to meet this in terms of the presidency?
Yeah, for the flag bearer.
For the flag bearer, what are some of the criteria?
Well, the criteria is we have to come out. We're going to come out with call it a candidate brochure, and in that brochure, we intend to look at all 5 documents. Okay, the Sierra Leone Constitution, the PPRC Act, the Public Elections Act, the APC Constitution, and the court ruling. We want to make sure whosoever is running for whatever is in that, but meets those criteria. So the criteria is set forth in the laws. So if anybody wants to run, I'll advise you get your lawyer before you declare and spend money. Say, this is my situation, this is where I'm at. Am I qualified? Will I be able to pass all these criteria?
Okay. Let's take some few messages. The first one I'll take is from Abdul Tijan Kagbo. He says, Peter Conteh is not a unifier. If he cannot unite the 21-man committee, how can he unite a whole party?
Rice Kamara says, no political party will disclose finance status. Members contributed to run the party affairs.
Eddie Grant says, with Alfred Peter Conteh, there is victory for us, dynamic young man.
So Michael Coker says, so with the meeting quorum set at 1, 3, or 7 members, it looks like a semi-dictatorship to me.
Bobson Kanu says, how can we entrust you, Peter? How can we trust you, Peter, when we see you partying with the SLPP hierarchy?
Lamin P. Albert says, Alfred never condemned the SLPP.
And George Orwell says, I suggest, Mr. Conteh, you work with your Secretary General if you want to achieve better results, as the progress of your party lies in yourself as chairman.
Mohammed Lamaba says, this is the most righteous APC human being since 1961. I prefer this man to be the flag bearer after 2023. He is the most democratic man who has the right tools to manage the problems of the APC.
And Mukhtar Lamin Beit says, Ibrahim Bundu, okay, that one is not clear. We're talking to Alfred Peter Conteh, not Honorable Ibrahim Bundu. Final few one.
This is a question. Joanny Sandy says, Lamarana, please ask Alfred what his plans are to combat tribal sentiment within the party. I'm an active, paid up and contributing member of the APC, yet a proud Mendi man. Some misguided individuals within the party believe that Mende tribes are strictly SLPP, forgetting the fact that my descendants have been diehard APCians.
I'll read two quickly. This one is from Namin P. Albert. It says, Alfred Conteh, how loyal are you to the APC or Sierra Leone if you haven't denounced your U.S. citizenship? And another from Honorable AKK, I will assume is the member of parliament. It says, it's a shame that Alfred can only talk on issues within the party, but will not go out to talk against the SLPP.
Few complimentary messages that I will skip. And someone is saying it is painful, but they don't want him to put the party together, and that's from Bashu Felewa.
Jibril Dumbuya says, go ahead and sanitize our party, Alfred. Some of these guys are still loyal to former President Nkrumah. They will not want you to succeed. And
my final message will be from Eddie Sam. He says, I thought the APC constitution is clear on membership issues. Why should it be up for discussion?
Pius Fori says, win a seat in the southeast, then I will surely know that your committee is doing well. And those are the messages we could take. Alfred, quickly, you want to react to them?
Well, I want to react on the tribal sentiment. To be honest with you, the All People's Congress Party is not a tribal party. It's all. In fact, like I said, I just received the party's register. And you look at it, you'll see people from the south, from the east, from the west, all over. Different tribe. You know, based on your last name, you can tell what tribe the person is. You have a 99% chance of saying, okay, this is this tribe. But looking at that, you're seeing all sorts of people. So the APC party that we all know is not a tribalistic party. We don't believe in tribal division. We believe in unity. It's All People's Congress Party. And to that person's message that his family has been with the APC since day one, people don't understand. I think it was Albert Magai was APC at one time. You know, so this notion that a particular tribe votes for a particular party, we have to stop that. I mean, I condemn anything that somebody says. I want people to know that it's not coming from the APC, it's coming from an individual.
And that individual is a member of the APC who is pushing his agenda to lead the party.
I need to say this too. Don't forget, there's what you call political gaffes. Okay, somebody can misspoke. So
Dr. Samura misspoke? Is that what you think?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying people can misspoke. Somebody can do that. You go out, you want to say something, you can say the wrong thing. And maybe you get caught up in the moment, you know? And Dr. Samura has a track record. I want people to know. When he was a minister of finance and all that, he was accused by members of his own party, the APC, that he gave job to the people that he was referring to in that audio. He has a whole bunch of them that are his friends. Even his wife is from that tribe.
Are you saying he got caught up in the moment and...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have what you call political gaffes, but I want people to know that that statement does not represent the APC party.
Okay, finally, what's your ambition? What are you looking forward to contest for within the APC?
As of right now, sitting here, I'm not looking to contest for anything. I'm looking to fix what's ahead of us and make sure the APC party comes to power.
After fixing that, what will you be running for?
Well, that's in the hands of the Almighty.
What's your own ambition? If people have ambition, then they pray to God for it.
Oh, yeah, they do, I know.
Yeah, what's yours?
I know people do. My ambition, like I said, is to fix this party and bring it to power, 2023.
Okay. Thank you very much, Alfred Peter Conteh, for joining us this morning to talk about the work of the 21-man interim committee of the APC. Hopefully, we'll be having you in subsequent edition.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.